While I'm thinking about it on things to do, we need to figure out a low fuel alarm too. Still working away on this. Have the solenoids going on this plate here. You can see I got the airlines all ran and they're all labeled. So I get the solenoids bolted on. I get the nut certs in for the first one. Getting ready to drill the second one, and then the third one is marked over there. So we'll get that handled. I think that's one of the last things I have to do before the cab can go back on, is get these airlines ran and wired. Yeah, I'll have to figure out a way to test all this stuff before I put the cab back on, make sure there's no air leaks and it's all wired correctly. Ken's back, so I got both of them back.
Oh, yeah. First time in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to get these air tanks mounted. We're trying to figure out all the fitting arrangements, and couldn't get the plugs out. Well, we probably ought to pull that.
Yeah, I'll pull it out actually. Yeah, it's a good idea.
That'll for sure get snapped off, so.
Yep.
It's not hard on a brass fitting, so.
No, it's not hard to round them out either.
No.
I don't know how they even got them in there this tight without rounding.
Well, I think it's just the sealer.
Oh.
Kind of like a Loctite.
Oh. That one seems like the right size to me. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Well, let's just give it like 1 or 2 hits. If it doesn't move, we'll let yeah, it's just rounding it.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can knock that in now.
That will grab better in the torques that we use.
Using our tool guy approved methods here.
Yeah, really. If you are one of our tool guys and you watch this, you did not see what you just saw.
Yep.
Okay. Do not rewind the film.
Yep.
Do not rewind the
Yeah. Or just get over it.
Yeah. So how do we want to plumb this? How do we make a check valve work for the...
We'll just put this right in the rear tank.
So like the air can go into the tank, but it can't come out right there?
Yeah, so that way it's isolated. So the only way the air can come out of the tank is from the hose that goes up to the lockers.
Okay.
So that'll go into the line.
Will we have the compressor feed that tank and then a separate one that feeds these tanks? And that's
Yes, there's 2 separate lines that feed these tanks.
Okay, so that makes the air lockers its own separate thing.
So if he runs these tanks out running the bags or the tires, there's still always air for the
Or
lockers.
if there's a line that blows somewhere, he always has lockers unless the something happens to the locker system.
Exactly.
Those are solenoids, right?
Yeah, those
Solenoids?
solenoids, so this will control the air for the tires. I just got off the phone with Matt, and he agrees with all of you guys that said that the air horn shouldn't go on top of the motors. He wants it on top of the cab, just like a normal truck would be. I was putting them here because I didn't want there to be a clearance issue, because the truck barely fits through an 8-foot door as it is. But he said he'll deal with the garage door clearance if it becomes a problem. We'll move these, we'll bolt them to the roof of the cab, run some air lines through the cab, and everybody will be happy. Easy enough.
The one hard thing about that is it's making the line quick disconnect.
No, I'm just gonna tee it off of because the locker lines are gonna be on the firewall. I'll just run a T, poke a hole through the firewall, run it up through the pillar, and it's not big deal. If the gas is up there, then Corbin approves.
Also,
another reason I like put it on the back of this is because if you're gonna see it, that means you're working on it, and if you're working on it, which means you're thrashing on it, which means I approve.
Because the cab's off if you see it right there, huh?
Yeah.
So as far as our Corbin approved stickers,
we're gonna throw one in with every order over $10 until we're out of them. Order up and we'll send them out.
Where do I go to order?
Where do you go to order? You just go in the closet. Yeah. But everybody else, you go to chadsfab.com. And we got a whole bunch of stuff there. T-shirts, hats, hoodies. And we have a whole bunch of different stickers too. Can't forget the stickers.
where do you want them?
Just set it right on that.
They're not even heavy enough. Think it's more parts for Griz?
I'm pretty sure. Probably. I think I know exactly what it is. We're working on the welder. Just got it set there since we don't have the box. We gotta run these wires are what goes to the alternator. This goes up to the key on signal to turn everything on, this brown wire. These are the two wires that actually regulate the alternator. And then this is the power one. Then it all goes back to the welder, and then we gotta plug it into power and ground and that stuff.
This is a good one. I didn't do one.
I had this sliver in my hand for like 3 days and I can't see it. I got 2 glasses on now, I can actually see it.
When you came in and said, can I borrow your glasses? I didn't know he already had a pair.
He's spent probably an hour this morning.
Oh, look at this. Look at how tight that thing is in there.
You got it?
I got it.
That's a personal achievement moment right there.
Oh man, it's like sitting right against a nerve. Every time I do anything just wrong, my whole hand goes. Okay.
I thought you did that anyways.
You do that a lot.
Run the crack torch, I know.
What we've always called them, you can laugh, but that is really what we have always called them around here.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. He had a little smirk when he said it. Run the crack torch.
Yep, because I know how much you love it, so.
So I hit a whole bunch of stickers, and Matt, I'm not going to show them all because you watched the video, but I'm going to show you one cool one because it's my favorite. If you kind of look, you can see it right there, but it's not there. It's there. And Matt, when you get curious, There's 10 total stickers, including the Corbin approved.
Kian's getting ready to mount up these compressors on this bracket. Give a big thanks to Alan from Lifeline Fab who just sent this out to us. He saw what we needed and built it. Got it in the mail to us in a big hurry. Thank you. Gonna work out good. Let's just sit here like so. He's got the relay blocks all ready to go for us. And he's got these 2 holes drilled and tapped. Since there's 2 complete air systems on this, they're pretty separate systems, we'll put shut-off valves on the manifold here so we can seal them off if one creates a leak and still have half the system up and going. It's got the pressure switch here to turn the compressors on and off, and then he already put a chuck on there so he can hook an air hose up if Matt wants to. It's pretty clean setup and should fit down in that hole where the rear steer motor is. Should look nice. Kian's been working away in here, up here in his little magic cubby right there. That's the hydraulic pump right there for the rear steer. And then there's where the batteries are. Kind of give you an idea where.
Oh, and there's the rear shock.
Yep. That's where these compressors are going to mount. Kian got everything all plumbed for the compressors on this handy bracket.
Super nice. It's set up for these fittings from these Vire compressors. They just thread right in and then set up the relays. It tucks right in there on the manifold. Really slick setup.
Yeah, it really is. It's nice. Don't forget we need to change that pressure switch.
Oh, yep. We got a different pressure switch for what we're doing.
That one shuts off at 145.
Let's see. On at 110, off at 145. Yep.
Yeah, our relief valves are set at 140. So
I think we have an on at 90 and off at 120.
Yeah, that's what we need to switch it to, so we're not blowing things off.
Well, that's unhooked to remind me, so don't forget.
So he's got the 4 inside screws holding the compressors to the bracket, and then the outside holes, you can see there's nothing in it.
There's tapped right there.
You can see the corresponding holes in the floor, so these will just thread right to the floor to hold the whole assembly in. That should make it easy to pull it back out for service. We've got stainless steel screws for it, and we'll use a ton of anti-seize on it.
With a good dose of anti-seize.
Yep.
I just got to put the screws in, tighten it all down, and these are the 2 wires that go to the relay. We got our main power right there from the battery. These are 2 of our 3 air lines. And then this is the signal that'll turn it on. That just got to wire it up after I get it mounted.
We got everything all plumbed and ready to go on this air system, so I just fired up the compressors and let them run for about 5 or 6 minutes. There's probably 50 pounds in the air tanks. I can hear a couple of minor leaks, so I've got my soapy water here. See if we can see where they're coming from. Sounds like it's up in here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All the fittings are leaking. I will get the fittings pulled out of that after we get everything else tested and reseal those. Check these air tanks really quick. Nothing there. Get all these. All looks good. That all looks good. 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 Oop, we got a little leaker right there. Okay, that looks like that's all fixed up. So we just have those few leaks up there we'll fix later. Mostly just worried about getting the cab put on. Now I need to check the electrical system on the airbag solenoid right there in the middle. That one's the left side tires. This is the right side tires. We'll go over here to this bulkhead connector. Here at this bulkhead connector, is where everything pins in at. So I just got one of these little nail pins so I can probe each one of these terminals. I've got the wires all tagged here for future reference. But I've been in this for so long, I have a pretty good idea what runs what. So this wire, that one should be airbag solenoid, that blue wire right there. And so that's an airbag exhaust. The bags aren't connected yet.
That's why you're not hearing a noise?
Yeah, so this one you should hear a noise, I think. Oh nope, that's the other exhaust. This one you should hear noise. So you can hear it. If you look back on that airline to that airbag on that side.
This one?
Yeah, I think that one should move. Should be. Oh, hey, I found the problem.
Found a problem?
I found a problem. Huh, okay.
They're not pinned?
They were pinned, but as soon as I touched them, they pulled right out.
I didn't do those.
Nope.
Not my fault.
How about that one? Okay.
Making a dance.
Making that dance. So now we can check the tires. So let's see what we get here. Oh, that must be the fronts. I don't have this set up to do each tire individually. They'll be isolated from each other, but they're gonna do, this should be fronts. So this one should, does that side move too?
Yep.
Okay, so this one should be the rear.
Oh, that one's moving. That one too? It's wrapped in a spring.
All right, so both of those are good. I just need to repin these. Should be good. And the last thing I need to check is the pressure sensors are working.
What do those pressure sensors do?
So this is the pressure sensor for the auxiliary tanks. So this tank and then the one on the other side are connected together, and these run the tires and the airbags. There's a primary air tank, which is right there. And that runs the lockers, the air lockers only. So there's a pressure sensor for that. And then there's a pressure sensor for the front tires and a pressure sensor for the rear tires. And then a pressure sensor for the left airbag and another one for the right airbag. They sense tire or pressure, air pressure for the gauges that are in the dash.
Oh, so
they'll
that's what tells the gauge how much it is.
Yes, so there's a gauge for the left airbag, a gauge for the right airbag, gauge for the front tires, and the gauge for the rear tires. And then a main tank gauge and a auxiliary tank pressure gauge as well. So there's six different sensors that I need to make sure are functioning properly, because I can't get to, let's see, can I get to any of them? I can't get to any of them once the cab's on, so I need to know now whether or not they're working. So yeah, I'll have to noodle that for a minute. While I fix these, I'll noodle that problem and see if I can come up with a way to plug in a gauge and make sure everything's working. Good times. Okay, checking airbag operation. So I need to get the air tanks filled up a little bit. I hooked the gauge up to the sender on this auxiliary tank that the airbags draw out of. Just want to make sure that all works. And it is up to about 40 pounds. Those compressors are kind of loud, but there's two of them. When this gets aired up, then I'll check the operation. I made myself a little harness that plugs in to this bulkhead connector with, wow, let me undo that. Whew. That's loud. I made myself a little test connector that will plug into this bulkhead. I can check each sender and make sure they're wired correctly, and also check and make sure that the sensor is going to the correct component. So there's so many connections here and so many interruptions while I was doing this. I just want to double check it now before we get the cab on. We'll let these air tanks go for a little bit, and then I can check all this stuff. Be back in a second. While that compressor was running, I aired up this one side airbag a little bit to check the gauge, and it is definitely working. And if you'll notice, it's dropping. And the reason is that fitting right there leaks. I'll get that replaced, try again. Then I got to repeat that on front tire circuit and the rear tire circuit and the right side airbag setup. So make sure all of those sensors are working. I'll spare you that bit of boringness. Dusty's back in town.
Finally.
A friend goes on retirement and you think you just have to disappear and go play for weeks, huh?
Yeah, it's why not? That's what I say. Why not? Any excuse to get out and go do something.
Yeah.
But I did miss this beautiful thing.
I know.
Okay, so just give me the list of what you guys want me to put on here to do.
While I'm thinking about it on things to do, we need to figure out a low fuel alarm too. There's been lots of suggestions on things we could do. Well, I'd like for you guys to comment on what you think I should do to get Matt's attention when he's out of gas.
Or low on fuel.
Now remember, Matt's told me that he'll just ignore any light that I put on there. So it's got to be fairly distinct and it still has to fit inside this small cab. So comment below, please.
And we'll probably need to get Matt's approval before it all happens, but... Gotta be nice.
Yeah.
What was that, Dusty?
A little 12-volt piezo.
What's a 12-volt piezo?
Just a little alarm.
Oh, the little
extremely loud. Yeah.
those, yeah. It's like the old Fords had for the key-in reminder that just sit there and buzz. Oh, I hated those.
More that than the seatbelt ding, ding, ding.
I don't know what's worse.
Could you hook it to the air horn and have the air horn go off too?
Well, yeah.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, everybody knows Matt's out of gas.
You ready to test back there, Kian?
Yeah,
How's that?
everything is done. Do you want me to take the camera and I can show everybody what we got? Sure. So, here's the two compressors. We got that manifold assembly. See if we can get you a better look around. We got these two hoses. Those go to the main air tanks that are below the cab. This one right there is a loaner that goes to the air tank that's mounted right under this right there. It's what?
Lonely.
It is a little lonely.
Poor loner. They need someone.
Probably likes the quiet.
Yeah, probably. But that just goes to it. That way we have the air lockers all isolated. We got a circuit breaker there. Then these hoses run up to the filters that are right up there. And we mounted them with that piece of angle just to match that piece for the power steering for the rear steer. Yeah, those little circle things. Yep.
Those are filters.
Yeah.
They pop off and have a...
Yeah, they pop the cover off and they just have a little foam filter piece so you can change it. And mounted them that way because they suck air up and then it helps keep as much dust and moisture out of everything as we can. So I think Dad's about ready to test it.
Still here, if I could find the magic wire.
Or do you want me to take the camera? All right.
I like you in it.
Oh, really?
You're cute.
Thanks, Mom. Yep. We were hoping putting those filters up there would quiet it up, and it did quite a bit. It was, I wouldn't be sitting right here before. It was so noisy. Okay, I'll let this compressor run, then we can make sure everything's back here is sealed now.
Well, it did run. Is that not enough?
Well, we need to get it up to full pressure where the pressure switch kicks it off.
Dude, you're too tall. And then on that, you're like almost gonna hit the helix.
Almost gonna hit what?
The lights, it looks like.
I still got a foot before I can touch it.
That is quiet. Inside the cab, do you even know they're going? Huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not, with the motor running and everything, you'll still be able to know? Dang quiet.
When you're going down,
So you're only about a foot away from it when you're inside the cab.
a few feet, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
not very far.
It's not like now.
Yeah. When you're going up like a dune or driving around, you're working it, and you really hear the motor, you won't hear them.
Well, we got quite a bit done. This is all done up now. Everything's all plugged in. All the air lines are tied in and where they're going to be. This is all plumbed. Got a pressure sensor right there. All the air lines are ran to both tanks. We got the welder wiring. So that all is right here. They're all tied to the cylinder head. Comes through here. This has 2 layers of this.
Like this section right in there is 2 layers, but it's closest.
Yep, because it is fairly close right there, way closer than I would have liked. I don't know, maybe we'll revisit that. I'm wondering if we had not put that above that, up closer to the motor mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we probably should.
Okay.
But we're out of time. It's Tuesday, mid-afternoon, and we have a whole stack of customer cars that need to get in here and get on the rack. Cabs occupying the rack. So we'll need to get that set on the frame. We're gonna have to lift the cab back off. Should only take us a couple minutes to set the cab down, get a couple bolts in it, and we can push it out of the shop, and then we'll get it back in the next day or two and wrap a lot of this stuff up. Yeah, that thing rolls terribly. Okay.
Keep going. Whoa. Slow down. Okay.
Nice and slow.
We got like 6 inches.
Oh, what?
Whoa. 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 Is the tire hitting the front block piece?
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, let's drop it down.
This thing.
I'm way clear over here.
Need to thread those cables under there and kind of lay them in here like they're supposed to go then. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be just fine. Just like
Okay. Over. Go ahead. We're gonna clear those solenoids.
yeah.
Okay.
I guess I should show that.
It's gonna be tight. We'll probably have to grind those before it's all said and done.
Okay, this side, or everything's kind of just sitting on stuff.
Yeah, we gotta pull the frame's gotta go out some more.
Yes, I'm just sitting here.
I think these acorns are looking pretty good. We might be able to just rest it right there.
That's what I'm thinking, but without the bolts. It would drop.
To go onto the back pad and back in.
Let's see what it does.
Nope, it didn't quite drop in.
What it is the little mounts are sitting on the tabs of the frame. They need to go back, but we didn't grind the acorns.
Yeah, we'll have to grind those.
Grind what?
On those, see the nuts on
Oh,
the
so it won't go in any further.
Yes. Nice and slow though, please. Slow. About half of that. Thank you.
You gonna have to raise the door, or is it gonna come out?
I think we got it.
Okay.
We got the wrecker back out. We just set the cab on for now. It'll have to come back in and lift the cab back off and finish up a couple of little things. So that takes care of it for today. Till next time, remember that your response to the situation should always make them better rather than worse. Thanks for watching. Go ahead. Talk. Get that stupid camera going.
Morning.
I love the camera. It makes me smile. Or not.